Alright guys, so today we are doing, oh my gosh, I'm not even ready yet. We are doing CHING number 29. Number 29 is what we left off at. So we are starting out at an art glass decorative perfume bottle. This sold for $23.99. This was just a bottle. It didn't have any kind of liquid in it. Just a bottle you can put like your own perfume or body oil or anything really that you want to in there. I cannot remember where I purchased this, but I can't imagine I paid more than $1 for it. I like picking up perfume bottles. I actually started collecting them a while back and then I stopped. I was collecting the ones with the atomizers with the little like bulb that you squeeze, and I stopped collecting them. I might at some point sell the ones that I did start collecting, but I just haven't yet. Next was a cross-stitch kit. This was of a bird feeder and it sold for $29.99. You guys know I personally like selling cross-stitch kits, but I always like to reiterate, be careful, make sure that they have not been opened and nothing is missing. And also I tend to say not all of them are worth a lot of money, but that if you find them, it's definitely at least worth looking them up and seeing if it's a good one. Next was actually a piece of doll clothing. This went to the older Water Babies doll. I actually had this doll when I was a little girl. I purchased the doll at a yard sale. I think I paid maybe 50 cents or $1 for her. Ended up when I got home, the plug on the back, because you actually fill the doll with water to kind of make it felt really weird. It kind of felt like a little more realistic of a doll. But the plug thing on the back was actually broken. So I ended up throwing the doll away just because it wasn't able to be used. It wasn't able to be filled with water and it was pretty much flat without water. So I took her sleeper off of her and decided to list just that, and it sold for $12.99. So that kind of goes along with like the whole idea of selling like replacement pieces and things of that nature. Some people are just looking for specific things, so maybe not the entire doll or the entire piece to something, but a part to something. So that was kind of surprising to me. And I actually have a couple pieces of Cabbage Patch Kids doll clothing that I want to get up as well. Next we have a pair of Badgley Mishka heels. These sold for $35.99 and I purchased them from Goodwill for, I would say, about $7.47. The next thing I have is a set of old sake cups. These were really, really cool. These were actually lithophane, and with some of these older sake cups and even like teacups, if you hold them up to the light, you can see a print of like a geisha face on the bottom. I didn't know about this when I purchased them. I just thought that they looked really cool. I got them at a yard sale. I think I paid $4, or yeah, there was 4 of them. I paid $1 for them, and those sold for $19.99. So like I said, I didn't have any idea that they were lithophane, and I kind of learned that. Kind of learned all about it when I went to list it. I don't even remember how I figured out that they were. I think it was because I was trying to find them to get an idea of what to list them for. And that's when I was seeing like other auctions with similar sake cups that had the lithophane, and I ended up like putting it up to the light and I was like, oh my goodness, these are. It was so cool. Next I have another set of dollhouse furniture. I have sold some dollhouse furniture in another CHING video, and these were from the same dollhouse that I had with the other dollhouse furniture and the other CHING. These ones were white. They kind of had a wicker look to them, but they were made of metal. And I wasn't sure what to price them at, so I put them up on auction and they sold for $39. So that's really awesome. Definitely dollhouse furniture is something that I will continue to look for while I'm at yard sales and thrifting, because it seems to do really well. Next was a vintage but new in package Wowco Santa sled ornament that sold for $16.99. I think I got this at a yard sale for like 50 cents or $1. These make these really pretty beaded Christmas ornaments. They look exactly like the Christmas ornaments that I had gotten in those vintage Christmas like mystery boxes that I took from a Curb Alert. I'm trying to still get those listed, which I need to get on the ball with. But this was a new in package one that hadn't been put together yet. Next was a Quaker Factory sweater that sold for $19.99, and I got that at a yard sale for $1. Just had a very like patriotic type feel to it. I sold a vintage Alan Jackson shirt for $35.99, and again I got that at a yard sale for $1. I sold a Land's End long sleeve shirt with attached hood for $9.99. I kind of like struggle with myself a bit with like my the cheaper clothing that I have listed. I'm getting to the point where I just want to end them all and just donate everything because I'm tired of them kind of like clogging up my listings. So I'm struggling with that. Because a part of me is like, well, maybe it'll sell, but it's like it's not even really worth my time and space to keep it. So those things might come down here soon, and then I'm just gonna donate them. The next thing was something I had never sold before in my life. I got this at Goodwill for I think I paid $1.99 for it. It is a vintage Sears compressed air regulator. It sold for $38.99. I sat on this for a very long time. It took a long time to sell. But when I found it at Goodwill, I looked it up, and that's how I kind of figured out like what it even was. And I saw that they were selling well. So for $1.99, I just decided to pick it up. But I did sit on that for a long time. So just saying, if you come across one, you might sit on it for a while. Next was a lot of Post cereal baseball cards. These were brand new. They were still sealed in their original wrappers. They sold for $9.99. So they originally came from a cereal, like a cereal premium. I found these while I was going through my parents' things, and I guess Mom had them just like tucked away in a drawer. I guess we had gotten them out of cereal boxes, but I wasn't really interested in collecting baseball cards and stuff like that, but she had hung on to them. And I was kind of surprised because I always hear like baseball cards really aren't worth a whole lot, but I think one, these were sealed, and two, they were also a cereal premium, and some people collect advertising and cereal premiums. Next thing I have is a Coach scarf that sold for $19.99. This was a really pretty winter Coach scarf. I got that for $1 at a yard sale. I got it at the same yard sale that there was another thing on this CHING. Next was a Laurel Birch tote bag, sold for $23.50. I got that at a yard sale as well. I was a little surprised that they didn't go for like a little bit more. I debated on keeping it because it was just so cute. I wasn't quite sure what to price it at. I think I put it on auction. I think I started it at $19.99 and it sold for $23.50. So I think some Laurel Birch stuff sells well, or like better than others. Next thing I have is a Coty Vanilla Musk Perfume Oil that sold for $9.99. And that came from one of the auction box lots that I had gotten a while back. Okay, so the next item was a tie. I just wanted to do like a celebratory dance about this because I have such a hard time selling ties. I couldn't believe that I sold a tie. This was a Brooks Brothers tie that sold for $10.99. I don't know why I can't sell ties. I must be doing something wrong. I have no idea what I'm doing wrong. But I have such a hard time selling them. I probably got this at a fill-a-bag rummage sale. Next was a Max jeans, kind of like denim cardigan overcoat that sold for $18.99, and I'm pretty sure that came from a fill-a-bag rummage sale as well. I actually didn't get to the last fill-a-bag rummage sale, and they never have one in December, so I missed the one in November because I was finishing up cleaning over at my parents' house that day. Let's see. This next thing was really interesting. I had never seen another one like it. It is a vintage Lincoln Day Dinner amber elephant mug. This sold for $39.99, and I got this at a yard sale, and I think I paid like 50 cents or $1 for it. I remember when I went to list it, I could not find anything exactly like it. Like, the handle was like an elephant head and trunk. Just really cool, really unique and interesting. I had this for a while. I did sit on it for a while. Maybe it's because I had it priced high, but I just thought it was so cool. So I didn't have it priced a little high because of that. But it did sell. And since then, I have never still seen another one like it. Next was a vintage Cardini watch that sold for $12.99. This did not have a battery. It needed a battery. So maybe I could have got a little more for it, but that's all right with me. I don't have like a ton of jewelry listed. I do have some that I need to get listed though. Guys, I am so sorry if my camera is constantly moving. This is the third time now where I lost battery. There was one point where I wasn't recording, and another point where I ran out of memory space. So this has just been kind of a disaster of a video so far. But I stopped at, or I was talking about, the old fart mug. Sold for $19.99, and I had probably gotten this for my father at some point at a yard sale. Next we have a necklace. This was marked Germany, and it had a really pretty stone on it. That sold for $12.99, and I got that at a yard sale for $1. Okay, this next thing I actually got for free from a Curb Alert. It was a book called Missing Beauty that sold for $9.99. That was actually a really good book. I read it before I listed it. It was like a true crime book. Next was a set of salt and pepper shakers. These were by Andrea by Sadek, and they sold for $12.99, and I got these at a yard sale for $1. You guys know I like picking up stuff by this brand, but I kind of have a hard time selling it. I just like picking it up because I like it. Funny story, since I had stopped recording and I was doing some stuff while my battery was charging, I actually sold an Andrea by Sadek parrot kind of figure sculpture thing. I'm so good at words. Anyway, that sold for a really good price, so I'm not giving up on this brand. I refuse to. Okay, so the next thing was a Lancome Tresor perfume that sold for $29.99, and I got that at a yard sale for $1. I feel like a broken record sometimes. I got that at a yard sale for $1 because it seems like a lot of stuff I get at yard sales for $1. Let's see, next was someone purchased two things. So they bought an Old Spice shaving mug that sold for $12.99. And I will say one thing, every single Old Spice shaving mug I have purchased to resell has sold. They don't sell for a lot of money. I think there are some that do sell better than others, but if you're getting them for like a quarter or 50 cents, you know, to sell for $12.99 is not bad. And then they also purchased a ceramic tile teapot trivet for $19.99, and I paid $1 for that at a yard sale. The Old Spice shaving mug was probably 50 cents to $1 at a yard sale. Okay, next was a vintage Totes. It was by Totes. scarf. This sold for $12.99, and I'm pretty sure I picked this up at the Goodwill bins. It's been so long since I've been there. I really want to go. I have a love-hate relationship with the place, but I'm kind of in the mood to dig around in some stuff. Let's see, this next thing was a pair of UGG boots. These were really nice. They had like pockets on the side, so they were like different than all of the, you know, regular UGG boots you typically see around. These sold for $49.99, and I got them at a yard sale for $1. I couldn't believe it. I remember being at that yard sale and nothing was priced, and I was like scared to ask what she wanted for stuff, and she only wanted $1 for like all of her name brand stuff. It was insane. Next was a Kipling purse that sold for $19.99. I guess a thing with Kipling bags is they come with like these cute little like keychains or whatever, and it wasn't on this one. I still think the purses sell, but I think maybe they sell a little better if they have the original keychains on. I could be wrong. I don't really know much about the brand, in all honesty. Next was a Brahmin purse that sold for $59.99. I absolutely loved this purse. It was a purse of my own. I purchased it originally on a website called Schoola, and I talked about that website a little bit in a video. It's a place where I donate some of my things, like clothing, that I don't want and I don't want to sell, or bother selling, I should say. And I really love this purse. Like I said, it originally was something that I carried, but there was just a specific memory of that purse that I didn't want it anymore because of the memory that was attached to it. I just specifically remember the day that I was in the doctor's office with my mom and my dad when the doctor pretty much gave my mom's diagnosis of her cancer, of like how long she had left to live. And I just remember looking down at my purse and just in disbelief kind of thing, and that memory was still there with that purse whenever I looked at the purse, which is really weird how such a memory kind of sticks with you. But I did not want that bag anymore, but it was a very beautiful bag. Next was something that Eric had picked up. They were Department 56 watermelon taper candles. I think he got these at the thrift store for like $1.99, and they sold for $15.99. Some Department 56 stuff does do well. Next was a set of vintage Tupperware measuring spoons that sold for $19.99, and I probably picked them up at a yard sale for like $1. I like picking up vintage Tupperware. Sometimes though, like especially with like the bowls and stuff, like I have a hard time finding like complete sets, and I kind of wanted to start just picking them up, and then, you know, I'd eventually maybe complete a set type of thing, but I just don't do that. And then also, a lot of the times when you open the lid, like the insides are all like scratched up and just not in the best condition. So, but I do like picking up the spoons and the measuring cups and the measuring cups. Alright, the next thing was a set of 2 Pyrex mixing bowls. These actually belonged to my mom. I decided to sell these ones because I do have some of her other Pyrex bowls that I actually use and actually go, like the color scheme goes with other stuff that I have. These just didn't go with anything, and I was surprised at what they sold for. They sold for $51.99. I had these up on auction because I wasn't sure what to price them at. But it surprised me since it was only 2 bowls. You know, it wasn't like a full set or anything like that. But that was a really awesome sale. The next one tops absolutely everything though. The next one was that crochet handmade octopus. You guys remember this? I think I had it featured in like 2 videos, like the video of the footage when I found it and then like my haul video, because it was absolutely amazing. The coolest handmade item I feel like I've seen in such a long time. It was this huge octopus. It had a shaker on the inside, so when you shook him, he like made noise. So I paid $1 for that octopus. I put him up on auction. I don't remember what price I started him at. I think I started his price out fairly high, and Eric thought that you know, he thought that I had it listed kind of high, and I was like, I don't know, I have high hopes for this. This thing is really cool. I've never seen anything like it before. It was just so unique. And it actually was won by a subscriber for $128.50. I could not believe it. I remember flipping out because I get like cha-ching noises on my phone when I sell something or when I'm getting bids, and there had to have been someone else who also wanted it, because there was kind of like a bidding war. Like my phone was cha-ching, 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 and I'm like, oh my gosh. I was just like so excited. And at the time I didn't know that it was a subscriber who was bidding on it. So I hope that they like that octopus. That octopus was so amazing. So if you're watching this, let me know down in the comment how you're liking him. Alright, the next item was a, I can't talk, like my words, I don't know how to pronounce things. Le Creuset baking dish. This sold for $49.99. I got this at a yard sale. It was brand new for $5. I got it at, it was this beautiful, like, expensive house. And I guess to them, selling that for $5 was nothing, but I about pooped my pants when I found it. So that was a really awesome sale. I was gonna keep it for myself, but I didn't. That's how it is with like everything I buy. Next was a set of 2 Lion King vinyl ornaments that sold for $19.99. And these were 50 cents a piece at a yard sale. And I think when I hauled these, I had told you guys, if you have things like this, like little PVC vinyl type figures or anything like that, when you're listing them, put like cake topper or something in the title. I think that's what I did with this. Hopefully I did. Because people who bake, when they make cakes and stuff like that, to decorate, and then, you know, the kid has a little toy that they can reuse afterwards type of thing. I sold a set of 2. These were vintage Santa light switch covers. These went to a subscriber. They sold for $12.99, and they came from one of those vintage Christmas mystery boxes that I had picked up from a free Curb Alert. And I'm trying still to get that stuff up. I've been putting things like allotted together that like go together. So there were 2 of these. When I looked them up to list them, other people had them also listed as light switch covers. So I guess it's like a multi-purpose type thing. Like you could use it as a light switch cover, or I think you could also probably put it on a tree and then put like a little Christmas tree, like one of the bulbs from your string of lights, through the little hole where the light switch would go through, so it looks like Santa's holding like a lit lantern. So a multi-purpose item. Next thing was, again, someone who purchased 2 things. The first one was a Clark's purse that sold for $25.99, and then the other was a Clark's wallet that also sold for $25.99. So the purse I got at Goodwill, and I probably paid between $5 to $7 for it. And then the wallet came from a yard sale, and I'd say I might have spent $5 on that wallet because I intended to keep it for myself. And then I was cleaning out my closet one day and I came across it and I was like, I have yet to use this. I'm just going to list it. So yeah, but they went to the same person. Next was a pair of Vince Camuto booty heels, sold for $26.99, and I probably got those at Goodwill So between $6 or $7 is probably what I paid for those. Okay, so the next one was a Butilla Christmas tree skirt crafting kit. This was a great sale. This sold for $99.99. So this is one of those instances of a crafting kit being worth a lot of money. It's a very like hit or miss thing. That's why I say if you come across crafting kits, look them up, because some of them are definitely worth way more than others. This one actually, I got at a yard sale. I forget what I paid for it, but it was open. And I remember being kind of leery about that because I wasn't certain if like all the pieces were there. But before I listed it, I went through everything. I pulled everything out and everything was accounted for. But yeah, I did look that up before I purchased it, and I was willing to take that risk because I saw that it was selling so well. So that was an awesome sale. Next was a set of 2 Tarte blush sticks. I sold for $14.99, and those just came from my own personal collection. I sold a Anais perfume. Anise. I hope to God it's not anus. Anyway, that sold for $14.99, and I got that at a yard sale, probably for $1. Next was a vintage Gitano duffel bag that sold for $29.99. Definitely from the 90s. I got that at a yard sale, and probably for $1. I mean, there's a chance that it was like 50 cents, but I always kind of round up a little bit. Next was a donkey planter marked Italy that sold for $16.99, and I can't remember where I got him. I'm assuming I got him at a yard sale, but I mean, maybe I picked him up at Goodwill. I don't think I got him at Goodwill though. I'm pretty sure he was from a yard sale, and probably $1. Let's see. Next was a men's affliction shirt that sold for $29.99. I got a bunch of these at a yard sale at one point. I paid $3 a piece for them, and they are selling. Some have gone out a lot faster than others though. I sold a pair of Vince Camuto nude heels for $16.99. I feel like these took a long time to sell. I'm not entirely sure why. But I do feel like I was sitting on them for a bit. I sold those Patricia Nash shoes that I picked up at a yard sale for $5. They sold for $39.99. First ever time finding anything Patricia Nash related while yard selling or thrifting, but it's definitely a brand that I would continue to pick up. I sold a vintage, this was really cute, a lingerie hamper. It was shaped like a pair of ladies' undergarments. That sold for $19.99. I do believe it was also new with tag, and I'm pretty sure I paid $2 for that at the yard sale because I remember the lady wanting a little bit more. I think because it was vintage and it was new with tag. I've never seen something like that before. I thought it was really unique. And then the last thing for this video, I sold a modern amusement shirt for $14.99, and I'm pretty sure this came from the Goodwill bins. So that is everything for this cha-ching. Before I jump off of here though, I kind of wanted to talk a little bit about, I feel like when I do the cha-chings, I just talk about, you know, what sold for how much and if I can remember what I purchased it for, but I don't really get into you know, the auctions that ended, or, you know, people who didn't pay, so like non-paying bidders, and just you know, problems associated with reselling. I rarely kind of talk about that when I'm doing my cha-chings. And I think I'm going to try and start because I have something that I wanted to talk about anyway, so this will just kind of go along with this one. And then come next cha-ching, if I'm having any other recent issues, I can discuss those with you as well. So, I sold that, if you guys remember, I picked up this travel set of Monat hair shampoos that came in like a case. I picked that up at a yard sale for $5. It has sold for $69.99. This sold on October 14th, so last month. I had gotten a message from the buyer saying that they hadn't received it yet, and it was past the date that it was supposed to be there, according to the date that like eBay gives you as to when to expect your item. So I went and I checked the tracking number, and it had been sitting in the same like warehouse and just wasn't moving, kind of thing. So I actually contacted USPS and had them open a case to try and find the item. And a couple of days went by because I asked them if they could like patiently wait to, you know, me try to like figure out what the heck's going on, kind of thing. And the USPS, whoever was at that warehouse, called me. I could tell because they had quite a southern accent. They let me know that they could not find the package. Even though it said that it was there, they physically could not find it anywhere. So that led me to believe, well, she had told me to go ahead and open a, since it was shipped priority, she told me to go ahead and open like a, insurance kind of claim, since priority is automatically insured. And so I got back to the buyer and I told them, you know, like, it appears to be lost because they're saying they can't find it anywhere in their warehouse. So I went ahead and I refunded them their money because I was under the assumption that there was no getting this package back, and at least the buyer would have their money back, and then I could file the insurance claim and get my money back. So I went ahead and did that. And in the meantime, I also went onto the USPS website and decided to do a package intercept with it, which is something else you can do. It costs like $14 and some change, where they will find your package and then send it back to you. So I went ahead and filled one of those out just in case there would be an instance of them somehow finding it. I wanted it to come back to me since I already refunded the buyer. So I got an email from USPS stating that the package was delivered on November 12th to the buyer, and that I wasn't being charged on my credit card for the package intercept since it was delivered to the buyer. It had the date, the time that it was delivered, and everything like that. So I was just kind of like blown away. Like, why, if I asked for an intercept, why did they not send it to me? So, but I was like, okay, whatever. So I got a hold of the buyer and said like, okay, I got an email saying that you did receive this package, even though like it's a month later. And they are saying, and I don't know for sure if, you know, they're telling the truth or not. I have no way to know that. But they are saying that they did not receive it, even though it says it was delivered and what time it was delivered to their mailbox. So I did get in contact with eBay, and they pretty much said that I have to try and get the buyer to refund me, and they are not answering my messages after I had sent the message, the first message. And then them saying that they never received it. They haven't responded to any other of my messages. So I'm kind of like at a loss here because I don't know if they're telling the truth or not. And so I'm pretty well out. I mean, granted, I only paid $5 for the set to begin with, but it's just the idea that like, not only am I out my $5 for the item, but I also don't have it, so I can't relist it and get my $69.99 back to resell it. And I also can't get the insurance claim money either because it was found and not actually lost. So, that's just, I hate to say, because it's a sucky situation, I hate to say it comes with the territory, but it does. Things like that happen. I wouldn't say they happen frequently, but it's just, it really sucks for, like, you know, small people like me who, you know, I'm not making buku money on eBay, so it hurts a little bit more than, you know, say someone who's making like thousands of dollars a month. So it just, you know, like, it's something that happens, and it's something I don't really address often, if at all. So those of you who do resell know these types of things happen, but maybe some people just think maybe it's all peaches and cream because, you know, I just get on here and do my cha-chings of like what, you know, what sold, that kind of thing. But there are problems that arise. I have been scammed a few times, and, you know, it's just sucky things like that happen. But I just figured I'd address, you know, one of my latest issues. But like, the issues aren't like a constant thing, but when they arise, it is a little disheartening to think about. But you know, like I said, it kind of just, it comes with the territory. But that is everything for this video. If you guys want to keep hearing about, you know, issues I'm having with eBay related stuff, I can put them at the end of my cha-chings. And then if I don't have anything, like if I don't have any issues happening while I'm doing that cha-ching, then, you know, all is good. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. You'll have to let me know what you thought down below, and I will see you next time.